Today I'll show you on how to field strip an SVD rifle, also known as the Dragunov. It was made by the Soviets in 1963 and replaced the Mosin Nagant. Make sure to check my video on how to field strip the Mosin. And the Chinese kind of adopted it as the Type 79 in hence 1979. And it was actually an unlicensed copy, so they just reverse engineered a captured Russian or Soviet SVD and copied it to make their own tooling. So interesting. This is the NDM 86, which is the, let's say, civilian or commercial version of this Type 79 rifle, and the NDM was then heavily marketed in the United States as a version of the SVD which you could own in the States. Cool, right? So this particular version, or this rifle here, is chambered in 308, which you can see by the straight magazine. So the SVD itself shoots 7.62 by 54R, and the R stands for rim, which means there is a little curvature in the magazine. This is just 7.62 by 51 or 308 or whatever you're going to call it, which explains the kind of battle rifle style magazine. Looks kind of something you would find in an FAL. The pros here are you will mostly find better match grade ammo in 308 if you don't live in any ex-Soviet state, I would say. So let's start with disassembly, and the first step as always is to make sure the rifle is unloaded, and for this we're going to remove the magazine, check that the magazine is empty, flip the rifle over and disengage the safety. We're going to pull back the slide, check the chamber, check the bolt face, nothing there, so we're good. We're going to let the bolt go forward, we're going to put the safety back on, and we're going to start with disassembly. So the first thing is to remove the optic. This is a PSO optic, 4x magnification. This is also made by NDM, so also Chinese copyright. And what you're going to do is, with all of the safeties, with all of the optics, the PSO optics, all the AK optics that use the side rail, it's the same basic principle. You're going to get this tab, push it upwards and kind of tilt the lever backwards to the buttstock of the rifle. This will allow you to slide the optic off the rail. There you go. And there you have your PSO optic. And since storage is kind of a thing, this optic per se you don't want to drop on the floor. It's not like an EOTech that is a bit more rugged, let's say. It comes with this nice little box. You can just put it in here and it is safe for transport. Pretty neat, right? So now we know we have an unloaded firearm, the optics is out of our way, we can start the disassembly, and we're going to start with removing the dust cover. And the dust cover is held in place by this little lever. So what you're going to do is push the lever downwards and keep flipping it over until it's basically 180 degrees, pointing to the back of the rifle, and this unlocks our dust cover. What you're going to do is firmly grip the dust cover and lift it upwards from here. And I say grip it firmly because it is attached to the recoil spring, and if you just do basically this motion, it might come flying. So just get a good grip and you won't get smacked in the face. So dust cover is gone, we have the recoil spring in there too. What's next? We're going to disengage the safety and we're going to pull back our bolt carrier group till the end of the receiver, then it pops out of the rail on its own. And this might look very familiar to all of the AK users, the bolt and the bolt carrier, just minus the long stroke gas piston that is missing here. So to remove the bolt from the bolt carrier, just make sure it's in this position, and you're just going to turn it, and now you can lift it out of the bolt carrier. So that's all there is to it. Now we're going to remove our handguard, and for this we have this little lever here on the right side of the rifle, and it kind of is under springy tension and it has a hook, so it hooks into this clip here which holds the handguard to the rest of the rifle. And what you do is you grab your thumb, push down and rotate it towards the end of the barrel, and keep going until it's in this position, and this will actually free this retainer clip, so you can now slide it off the handguard. And here The handguard itself is under spring tension here. There's a tiny piece of sheet metal here that pushes it upwards, and it rests on this little tab here. So what you do is you kind of push it this way and then lift it up. So as you can see here, it's kind of springy, and this frame here rests on the tab. So we're going to repeat the same process on the other side, push this way and lift up, and we can remove those beautiful looking handguards. So the next step is to remove the gas system, and we're going to grab this rod and push it towards the buttstock of the rifle. And here, this little guy wants to travel with it, so make sure you push that completely in, detent the spring fully, and now you can lift the gas rod out of here. There you go. And for this, as you could just see, it is good that the retainer clip is in the fully forward position, otherwise it kind of blocks your rod here. Now you can remove the gas piston itself. This part kind of looks AKE again, right? It should look familiar. So if I put this here with a connection, you can see the resemblance. Now the next and final step is to remove this adapter on the gas piston, on the gas block. And what you have here is kind of those two little tabs here, which perfectly fit your favorite ammo casing that comes with the rifle. So you kind of have a leverage here. And what you're going to do is on this tab, you can press it and turn this to your left when you look down the barrel. And this will free it, and now you can just unscrew the rest or unthread the rest with your hand. Keep going, there you go. Now you can remove this part too. So that's all there is to field stripping your SVD rifle. When it comes to cleaning, you want to clean the barrel first, then you want to clean your gas piston. Especially this part here is where all the gunk accumulates, where the burnt powder kind of collects all the nice stuff. Wipe that down, give it a good scrub, and then clean your bolt. Make sure the bolt face is clean. Make sure the free-floating firing pin is still free-floating, very important. Wipe down the rest of it. Clean the bolt carrier, especially the rails where the bolt interacts with. Give it a little drop of lubricant. Same goes for the rails where the bolt carrier travels back and forth. And that's basically all there is to cleaning. Just to show you, this rifle comes with a nice little pouch. And what's in this magic pouch? It is a cleaning kit, and it's kind of interesting, that's why I want to show you. This is your cleaning rod, which comes in 3 parts, so you can unscrew these two and kind of screw them together to get the full length of the rather long barrel in this rifle. So you screw them together, and the next part would be to grab your little cleaning box, and in there you get your brush, your multi-tool, a punch. I think somewhere else should be this adapter here, which belongs into here too, which you can screw on the cleaning rod, which will allow you to run some piece of cloth through the barrel to clean it properly. So I just usually use a bore snake for this, obviously a bit more modern. I just wanted to show you this neat little cleaning kit. So we're going to put this back together, put it all into its nice little pouch. And there we go. So when it comes to reassembly, we now have a clean rifle. We're going to grab this gas port adapter, and here it's important. It might happen that you accidentally or willingly kind of rotated it a bit, and as you can see, there's a groove. Focus please. There's a groove here, and this guy has to be in this groove. So what you're going to do is grab the lower part and kind of turn it until it rests in this groove, otherwise it won't go together properly. So once that's done, you're going to grab your rifle, put the retainer clip in its way back position, and stick the big opening through the holes here, which will allow you to start threading it back onto the gas port, and has to align perfectly, otherwise it's a bit stiff. Right now, okay. Keep turning. I'm not sure why they use such a long threading, but sure there's a technical reason. If you know it, please let me know. I just think it's rather tedious, but it's my 2 cents. So now you will reach one point where you'll run into some resistance, and this is where you'll have to start pushing down on this little tab here and using your cartridge to keep rotating because it starts hooking with the adapter. And now we reach that final point where we have to really use a lever. You can't do this by hand. And if everything went perfectly, those 2 holes on the outer casing and the inner part of the gas tube should align. So you get this hole here. So this little lever just rests in there. And if it doesn't, you might have to get some pliers to kind of rotate this to the inner part. You'll figure out. Just make sure that those 2 holes align, and then this guy should rest flush in there. So next part is to grab your gas piston, actually shove it in that hole, and this is where it's going to go. So put it in here first. Now you're going to detent the spring and let the piston rest in the gas port. So if you move it, this should be the action. So that's all good. Back together. You're going to grab the handguard, and what you're going to do is align it with the cover here, kind of push down so the spring is detent, and make sure it rests on this little tab here. Carefully flip it so it doesn't pop off. Grab your other part of the handguard, same procedure, and as you can see, Murphy's Law, it's probably not good if it rests on the side, otherwise they're going to pop off. Just rest it on the table like so. And now, since they're together, you're just going to push them a bit together, put some pressure on both sides, grab your retainer clip, shove it over the handguard, and you're going to lock it in place with this little lever here. Rotate it, push down, and it hooks into the retainer clip. So now the handguards are back on there solid. We're going to continue with the bolt and the bolt carrier. So drop the bolt into the bolt carrier, turn it until it falls down, and now make sure this lug here rotates in there, and now it's held in place so it doesn't fall out anymore. And you're going to grab it and put it on the back of the rail, push down, slide it forward. There you go. We're going to decock the hammer, and that's it. So the final part of a reassembly is going to be to put the dust cover back on there, and let me show you. There's a little cutout in the part of the receiver here, and this is where you will want to hook your dust cover. So first you grab the hinged recoil spring, put it in this hole here, and you keep pushing, and once you reach it, you will feel you can push the dust cover down, and now it's already resting on the receiver itself. And just to lock it in place, you're going to grab this lever here, flip it into its position pointing towards the barrel, and the SVD is back together and operational. So we're going to just do some basic function testing. We don't have any bolt hold open or anything, so what you're going to do is first disengage the safety, charge the rifle. We know it is empty, there's no magazine in there. Put the safety on, we're going to pull the trigger, nothing happens. Disengage the safety while pointing it to a safe direction, pull the trigger. Now we can hear the action working just as we want to. Everything's back together, your rifle is clean, and you're good to go. So, have fun.